This season has been chaos for the NFC, and Week 18 is no exception. Welcome to Underground Sports Talk. I'm Alex.
I'm Jordan.
And today we're going to be talking about the NFC playoff picture going into Week 18. Starting out with Saturday, there are some big playoff implications with those two games, both NFC games. And it looks like the first one on Saturday is going to be the Panthers at Bucks, I believe.
Yeah. And both those games are for the division titles on Saturday. But yeah, the Bucks versus the Panthers, I believe that's in Tampa Bay as well. Winner of that should take the South. I think they win.
Yeah. So the winner that could take the South, unless, which a lot of people didn't expect the Falcons to beat the Rams, but they just did. But if the Falcons go ahead and beat the Saints, no matter what happens, even if the Bucks beat the Panthers on Saturday, then the Panthers will still win the South.
That's wild. Imagine being the Bucks and like if they just whoop the Panthers and and the Falcons just beat the Saints.
Well, they'd probably understand because they just kind of collapsed out of nowhere at the end of the season, right when you're supposed to get hot, right when you're supposed to step up and get that momentum. They went the opposite direction. So at this point, I'd almost rather see the Panthers for entertainment reasons in the playoffs.
You know who I'd rather see in the playoffs out of that division is the Saints. The team with the worst record has played the best at the end of the year.
At the end of the year, yeah. And then you look at the Falcons just beat the Rams out of the playoffs, playing good. I don't know if it's just the lack of pressure that's making them better. But with that being said, on Saturday, say the Panthers do lose against the Bucks, they don't clinch the South with the win on Saturday, then they become Falcons fans, which that's going to be a great game to see too. You're usually used to seeing the roles reversed, Saints and Falcons fighting for the South, but right now it's just kind of a meaningless game for them too. But it's huge for the Panthers if they lose against the Bucks.
Yeah, that's what's your prediction on that? Who's winning the South?
I think everything is pointing towards the Panthers having a better chance at it. So go ahead and chalk me up for having the Panthers ending up winning the South, which, wow. We've only lost to, one non-playoff team now, possibly? When you talk about the Packers.
That's true. That's crazy.
So, yeah, I got the Panthers beating the Bucks already and not even needing help from the Falcons. But, hey, if that does happen, the Falcons are excited. They just beat the Rams, who were close to getting a number one seed, but are out of that now. And it's just all pointing towards the Panthers winning the South.
Yeah, I don't agree. I think that the Bucks will win that game, and I also do believe that the Saints are going to win that game. So I'm taking the Bucks. I think the Bucks are going to get in, and I think the Bucks out of either of those teams are the one team that could surprise people if they do get in. Because Baker is just he's going to surprise you one way or the other, good or bad, but you will be surprised. So that could be one of those teams that get in with it would be they'd be 8-9, right? Yeah. So with the below 500 record, getting into the playoffs, just like Seattle did a little while ago with Marshawn Lynch, not Lloyd.
Yeah. No one knows who he is except for us.
Yeah, and then he ran all over the Saints, and the Saints had a great record that year, and they ended up advancing to the second round of the playoffs as a 7-9 team back then. So, yeah, give me the Bucks winning the South.
Okay, give me the Panthers. Then you got for the number 1 seed on Saturday, the Seattle Seahawks at the San Francisco 49ers. Jordan, who do you have taking the 1 seed? Having home field advantage all the way through the playoffs or possibly in the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah. So if you've been watching the channel, you know my thoughts. About a couple weeks ago, like I've been saying, I think the 49ers are the team to beat in the NFC right now. And I think they're going to get that 1 seed. So I like the way they're playing. I think the Seahawks are a good team, but I feel like they're a little fluky, kind of like the Vikings of last year. Not really worried about them in the playoffs. 49ers, though, they're legit. They got a great coach. Quarterback's playing great. Obviously, you know what they got in the backfield there. And that defense always, well, not always. I guess they didn't come to play against Chicago. So, but yeah, I think 49ers are going to come away with that. I think they're going to have the number 1 seed in the NFC.
All right. Well, that, leads me into my pick. Yeah. The 49ers just gave up 38 points to the Chicago Bears. So neither defense looked good there. I'm going to have to go with the Seattle Seahawks. They're winning the games they're supposed to. Their defense has been better than the 49ers, and as we all know, defense wins championships. In this case, it's going to be seeding. But, yeah, I have the Seahawks beating San Fran at home and winning the number 1 seed. Sam Darnold, what a story there.
I would tell you this. If the Seahawks win that game and JSN has, 150 yards, a couple TDs, a big game, I think he's not gonna win MVP, but I think he'll get in the top 3 behind Stafford and Drake May, because he's had a crazy. I think he has like 1,700 yards receiving this year so far.
Yeah, he will be in the talkings for it.
I'll talk about him.
So, and then you got the Chicago Bears and the Philadelphia Eagles. Basically, what they're going to be playing for is who they get to play in the wild card round. Who's going to be hosting Green Bay or LA? Now, honestly, I would say before this LA and Falcons game that those guys would probably want to take Green Bay because of how injury riddled we've been. That's fine. I mean, no, regardless, I know who we want. We want Chicago because we're confident with either one of those teams. But I'm guessing they would want Green Bay. It really doesn't matter right now. I think that they'll take either one of those. But, yeah, I mean, who do you got at the number 2 seed, ending up at number 2?
Yeah, well, one thing I want to go back to, the number 1 seed, they're going to either get the 1 seed or the 5th seed, and both seeds are like a bye week anyways. You either get the bye or you get to play against the South. Yeah. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, for that, the Bears, for the Bears to drop down, they would have to lose, and the Eagles would have to win. So there's more going in the Bears' favor. I think that, looking at it from a Packers standpoint on who we'd want to play, it really doesn't matter. I mean, we want the revenge at the Bears. We don't want to go into the playoffs and not get a chance to play the Bears. So it would be the Bears, but we could get revenge against the Eagles too. I'm fine with that. I look at those two teams. The Bears have the better quarterback play right now. I'm not gonna say he's a better quarterback, but this season he has been a better quarterback. But the Eagles have a deeper team, for sure. And I'd say I think the Bears are gonna get the 2 seed, and the Eagles are gonna stay at 3.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and have to agree with you on that. And, I just think that the Bears are going, or no, they host Detroit. So I see them beating Detroit at home, playing with some pride there. And then guess what? They get to host the Green Bay Packers for round 3. So, yeah, like you said, LA's locked in at number 6. Green Bay is locked in at number 7. And we are just trying to figure out seedings 1 through 5. And we're going to have a very, very clear picture come Saturday on how that is going to look.
Just a real quick thing before we wrap this up. What game do you think is going to be the best game week 1 in the NFC playoffs, now that we kind of have picked who's going to be where?
Week 1 in the NFC playoffs. I mean, thanks for asking me first, because I'm just going to go with the easy one, and that's going to be the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. That's round 3.
Yeah. I would say that's going to be a great one. But another really good one is going to be Eagles-Rams. I think that's going to be a good game. Those teams both have really talented teams, but have not played great at certain points in the year. So they're not, clear above everybody. I think that's going to be a good one. Plus, I think it's going to be tough. I think the Eagles would have the advantage in that game because Stafford going into an open stadium in cold weather. He hasn't performed very well in those games.
Bones.
Lambeau. Remember that? But yeah. So
yeah, he hasn't played too well in the cold out there in the elements. Yeah, but I know you just picked that because I already picked Packers at Bears. So
yeah. Of course, the Packers Bears is like, come on, there are 2 great games. 1-score games, one on last, plays of the game, last second plays of the game, basically. And division rivals, the oldest rivalries in the league. And you have the up and coming Bears who play great, and they get to be at home. Everything's stacked against the Packers. I love it. I can't wait. We better play the Bears. We better play the Bears. Give me it.
So, hey, that's the NFC playoff picture. How do you think it's going to shape out to be? What game are you looking forward to? Let us know in the comments. This is Underground Sports Talk. And as always,
go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go.